Hi guys, welcome to the week that was. It's Monday. I'm always a day late. I'll be late for my own funeral, I think. So we've had a fairly hectic weekend and week actually. We've had a lot of unchipped strays come in, which is really frustrating because we do so much free microchipping, and a lot of these strays have been roaming the streets for days. I think one was 10 days. And that was a little Chihuahua cross pug is what it's chipped at, but it kind of looks like a little Tibetan Spaniel. But, you know, all these dogs that are coming in unchipped, they've been roaming for days on end. And you know that when they finally get caught and they come in, no one's coming. If they can't be looking for their dog while they're out in the community for a week, what chance does the dog have coming into a facility where a time frame is placed on them? And you know, I find it incredibly frustrating and sad because no wonder a lot of dogs and a lot of cats die when they're unlucky to fallen into the hands of people that don't care. They're not looking for their animals. They don't microchip them. They don't care. They're not putting posts up. Likelihood, half of them have been dumped. I mean, the little guy that's been roaming for 10 days, sweet little boy, it took the finder ages to get near him. And, you know, where do the people think these dogs are? Now, he was rehomed in one suburb, but he was found probably 15 minutes away in the middle of nowhere. So it makes you wonder why he's out there, how he got that there, and where are the owners. Now, we had a phone number given to us for one of them where it was rehomed. I've texted, I've rung, I've left messages, nothing. It's just not good enough, is it?
No.
So over the last few days, we went to we went to extreme capacity. So we're basically, our whole first row is full, and now our back row is a quarter full, and so basically now we're sitting at 70%. Now 70% sounds, oh look, that's good, you've got 30%. However, that can change in a matter of minutes with some of the ranges. So the other day we had 9 dogs come in on the one day, and then I got another one on from the same household the next day. But it's just been constant dogs coming in unchipped, and we have no solutions for. So when we get to 90%, I have to notify council that we're at 90%, which means they will make decisions on those animals, because we have to function as a facility for stray dogs and seizures. Now, we do get a lot of seizures where rangers have been out to investigate a dog attack, and the animal has been seized and brought in. We've got animals that are, say, a bit like Rocco. He's chipped as a pit bull, and he's non-compliant with the legislation, so they get seized. We have to have kennels for seizures, and so it really frustrates me that people want to play Russian roulette with animals' lives, because I don't have a say. Everybody thinks I have a say. I don't. I'm bound to, when we get to a certain level, it's taken out of my hands, and we're very, very close to creeping up to that level where I have to notify council. And you know, I walk the streets. I can tell you, last night at 7:45 I was door knocking at night, trying to follow up some leads, because it was hectic here yesterday, wasn't it, Tahnee?
Yep.
And so by the time I left here, I mean, I did not finish work until 12 a.m. this morning, just trying to clear my desk because Tahnee said to me, we're filming in the morning. I'm just letting you know you better be ready. And I was like, oh.
Well, I just didn't want to come in on my day off again to do it.
You know,
as soon as the doors open, we just get slammed. So.
We get slammed. And you know, you're probably thinking, you say that every week, but be here for a day and you'd be like, that place is crazy. So when we had these 8 puppies came in from the Cessnock Rangers, it was a big mammoth task for us. So the first day they were covered in fleas, they were covered in poo, and so the very next day we had to bath them, we were vaccinating them, we were microchipping them, we were flea and worming them, we were photographing them. I was picking the names, writing up the paperwork, processing it into the system, impounding it in the system. I then had to go and speak to the owner and find out what her intentions were for the dog. We virtually lost a day and a half just dealing with 9 dogs on the one day. It's crazy. So anyway, so a bit frustrated that, you know, we're getting more and more. I think, was it yesterday, Tahnee, or the day before that we had 3 unchipped strays in the Kelpie?
That was Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
They just kept rolling in and we're like, good Lord, there's no avenue to... I think the thing that frustrates me is we have this great program, Freedom Buster, to help people, but that can only come around if the owners contact us or we ring them to say, hey, we've got your dog. When we have an unchipped stray, we're in limbo. That animal is in limbo. It's got 7 days. It's ticking away fast. And if somebody does not reach out, it becomes the property of the council. Now, it's really stressful here at the moment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we have a lot of dogs barking. Now, this boy here, he's got the worst anxiety. He has slowly been destroying some kennels because of his anxiety. I may have a photo here of what he's been up to.
He wouldn't do anything. Look at that little face while he's sleeping.
Don't believe it, guys.
Such an innocent little baby.
No, don't believe it.
Yes. Look at him.
Don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, see that little side eye.
This is what he's been doing to our kennels with his anxiety. So we have brought him into the office to help him, keep him away from the mainframe, because there's a lot of barkers, a lot of dogs not coping out there. In particular, one of the unchipped strays on Saturday, we think it's a Staffy Cross Lab. He's really bad, isn't he? He howls all day.
And even the Kelpie puppy's been screaming as well.
Yeah, so even us, we're just not getting any moments of quietness. It's just screaming. When I leave the office, he's that bad that he whimpers and carries on. But then Tahnee has shown me something today, and I've said to him, oh my God, did you do that? And he mouthed off at me, didn't he?
He did. You guys had an argument. It was actually quite funny.
He was like, oh, whoa. And I'm like, don't you talk back to me when I'm having a go at you for what you've just done. Do you want to show them what he's done, Tahnee?
But look, look at that big stretch. Ugh. Look at that. He started damaging our door frame.
Mm-hmm.
There's Russell.
Yes. So we have quite a few dogs that are struggling here at the moment, and of course, you know, our duty of care is to try and keep them comfortable. He's been to the vets, he's been put on trazodone by the vet to help him cope. That's with trazodone on board. And yes, of course, I've spoken to him about, like any good parent or caregiver, I've done my due diligence and told him he was naughty. And I got a mouthful back for it this morning. But anyway, that's what we've been really busy with strays. So just touching a little bit more on strays. Rocco, who was seized because he's chipped as a pit bull cross Roddy. Don't you see the Roddy in him?
Okay.
There's the Roddy.
Sure.
There's the pit bull.
Yeah, I see
Anyway, he got seized. The next thing was he had to go through a government assessment. So he basically has to apply to have a passport to say that he has the right to live, is basically how it comes down. Because if you have a pit bull, they're illegal in Australia. If you've got a pit bull cross, they're fine. However, you have to go through a breed and temperament assessment to, one, make sure it's not a purebred pit bull because they're illegal, and temperament, are they a danger to the community? Because this is why there are a certain number of animals that are on restricted lists, because they have, some aggression issues and problems. I mean, really? I think some Chihuahuas and Jack Russells should be on that list.
Oh yeah, I'm more scared of them than I am Staffies and Pitties and stuff.
And then I think you could also probably throw in a good Shar-Pei. Yeah. Never really had any issues with Mastiffs, Labradors, but Chihuahuas and Jack Russells we usually get a bite from. And the old Shar-Pei, they like to give those side glances if to say, come on, bring it. I'm going to smooth out these rolls on ya.
Except for Ziggy.
Ziggy was the most
He was
amazing.
amazing.
You know what? In 13 years of doing this, I think I've only ever met 2 Shar-Peis that I have never felt any aggression, any reason to be worried. The rest of them, I sort of think, Even the Shar-Pei puppies we had, remember, they used to growl and carry on at us, and you're like, stop it.
Yeah, I thought they mainly did it to themselves.
Oh,
But
no,
they arrested
did it
each
to
other.
us.
Did they?
Yeah.
I just couldn't see past the gorgeous little wrinkles and pulling their excess skin.
Maybe that's why they growled at me.
Probably.
Pulling on their skin.
I wasn't like yanking it, I was just like stretching it out and playing with it.
So anyway, another part of our job is to get the government assessor up. That's organised through the OLG and the owner. We get them up, organise a time for them to be here to meet the big boy. And Rocco went through his assessment on the weekend, and we're very happy to say he's now got his passport, and we're just waiting for final approval from the OLG for a release. So this chewing little monster will be going home soon. But that's just part and parcel of having a restricted breed. And another aspect of the job is that we have to do assessments, not only internally, but we also in some cases have to get a government approved assessor out as well. And they have to have forms submitted to the OLG to say yes, they've actually been signed off by an approved assessor. So anyway, Rocco's now got his passport, thank goodness. One of the other avenues of our job is not only is it assisting the community, but we also assist rangers and police, because quite often the police actually get called to domestics and situations and dog attacks actually after hours when everything is closed. So I had a bit of a suggestion a few months ago, and I said to the council, why don't we provide the police with a scanner? Because quite often they're taking people into custody that have been involved in an incident, or they've been arrested out on site, and sometimes they've got dogs in the car, sometimes they've been nabbed while walking their dogs, and so and sometimes they go to households and there's a dog there and nobody will own up who it is. So sometimes the police, need to find out more about ownership of these animals. So we've handed them a scanner on the week, a couple of days ago, and the head ranger, Andrew, and Denham, the other ranger, and myself, actually went out with a couple of dogs from the facility, and we demonstrated how to use the scanner, what it looks like, what happens and what the process is going to be. So one of the things that we'll be doing is if police need us, they will be calling me after hours, and I'll be able to assist them and hopefully getting that animal home or finding a solution for them. I can't tell you how many times the police have been to my house with a dog in the paddy wagon, because it's quite common for dogs to make their way to the police station by members of the public or through seizures and stuff like that. And I think half my neighbours think that she must be real bad, because every time I'm climbing into the back of a paddy wagon to scan an animal, so in their eyes all they see me is keep getting into the back of a paddy wagon.
I mean, you are a bit sus, so...
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But anyway, this is a new program that we've got, and we've got some other ideas that we're talking to them about at the moment. So we're hoping to get a couple of programs off the ground with these guys. So yeah. So anyway, that's another avenue that we deal with on a daily basis.
Okay, so we've said it's only going to be a short one today.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go, we'll do our frustrating and happy. I don't think we've got any sad this week, do we? I think it's just the...
Only my door frame.
Well, we've covered that already. So we'll go with the frustrating so we can end on a happy.
I think frustrating is how many animals are actually ending up in other pounds. And some of these pounds, when we're regional pounds, we all don't have 50 kennels. Some of us have 10, some of us have 25, some of us have 30. I see the lists come out all the time, and I generally worry for these pounds that I know don't get the support and are struggling. And if anybody knows who I am, they know that I can't sit there and let animals be put down if there's a chance that I can help them. So I've been reaching out to other facilities to say, hey, if you're really in danger of, running out of space or having to euthanize, please reach out to me. I can't promise anything, but I will do my best. And that's exactly what I've been doing. So, we've been taking countless animals out of other facilities as well. And I've been networking with other rescues to get them to other rescues, just to help those facilities. They don't necessarily come here. I've managed to do from facility to rescue via me. And so in one instance we pulled 11 cats from another pound for them, and then I took them on and got them transferred to another rescue. So I already had started networking to make sure that I had a solution. Now it's a bit like a dingo pup. Now dingo pup can't be just rehomed to anybody. It needs... People fall into traps of thinking, oh, it's so cute, I'm going to get a dingo. Unless you've got the knowledge behind you and the actual suitable environment for a dingo pup, you're going to have heartache later in life. So there was a little dingo pup in another facility. I reached out to a friend of mine who's involved in dingo rescue, and I was able to get the dingo pup dropped here and straight out to rescue. And that's a little bit more about also what takes up my day is I work my butt off to keep this place functioning, but I'm working that little bit extra harder to try and help animals in other facilities. And you know what? I can sleep at night knowing that I've helped in my way. I can't say them all because I have to make sure that my pound is my first priority, but I can certainly do my best to talk to people that I believe that animal, they might be interested in that animal. And that's how we've worked with, we pulled a Roddy from a pound and we got it down to Iron Dog at Baffungra. We've had the dingo go to dingo rescue. We've had English staffies going to a staffy rescue that only specialises in the smaller ones. We've had huskies go to husky rescue. So I think because I do network a lot, it helps me to be able to help these other facilities as well. And it really sort of makes me feel sad that every pound is struggling at the moment, and there's so many people turning their backs on their animals that they don't realise there's a lot of pounds out there that don't have somebody trying to help them as well. It is what it is. And, you know, do they want to put those animals down? No, nobody goes to work to want to put animals down. Vets don't want to do it. Pounds don't want to do it. I don't know anybody that gets pure enjoyment from doing it. But it is a fact of life that it does happen. So, yeah, it's just my way of helping.
Well, I suppose that kind of does lead into a bit of the sad as well, that there are so many unnecessary deaths happening. Not that it's like our fault for not being able to help them, but just as a general thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that can be partly your sad as well, I think.
guess so, because, yeah, it's, you know, sometimes I lose sleep over it. You know what I mean? I think one of our adoption dogs was a dog that I actually took in as a surrender. I had space in my 6 kennels at that moment in time. And that's young Maisie. Good with dogs, good with cats, good with pocket pets.
Good with kids.
Good with kids. Amazing dog. She was on the kill list. She had her time extended from the other facility because they loved her. And I got an urgent call to say, look, we're out of kennels. Chances are she's got to go tomorrow or the day after. I'm like, we just done adoption and I had 1 spare kennel, and I said, I'll take her. That dog is now in a home that we've spoken to them, and she's doing amazing. We've, you know, that dog nearly paid the price. Somebody put her in that situation, never looked back. But I couldn't. I didn't want that for her. They didn't want that for her. They reached out. I heard and said, let's do it. But next time I might not have my 1 kennel. I might not have a foster carer lined up. Now, I did have a foster carer lined up for her just in case my kennel went that day, and we were lucky that we didn't need to. But how many facilities aren't lucky? That's a sad thought to think about. How many animals die? So, it now is up to our happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got so much to be happy about.
Well, that's good.
Okay, Leanne's back today.
Woohoo.
Thank God. So Tahnee's back. Leanne's back.
The dream team's back. Got everyone back.
You're lucky Don's not here and heard that. You may have got a different answer.
Yeah.
Like, Don's like, we've registered the caravan D. It's time to pull the van out to go camping. Like, no, we can't. We've got staff off. So she can be happy now. Anyway, so my happiness, it comes in many folds. 1, Leanne's back. 2, Grumbles. Grumbles was really a good boy yesterday in a flip sort of way. He was naughty, but good. Naughty because he did something to an animal, but it was a good test because those people needed to know that that dog could live with a cat. So Grumbles assisted with that, and the dog passed with flying colours. On the other hand, he was very gentle with a baby puppy, wasn't he?
He was very good.
Normally he smacks them around and sends them flying on their little bums, but he was really good. So I was really proud of the big boy. So that's Grumbles. We've had some amazing adoptions. So last week, and I'm sure that some of you guys might be wondering where Yubi went, the big boy. I haven't put an adoption photo up because there's some personal reasons behind that, and I don't want to draw I don't want to cause these people any heartache. Anything that involves children and stuff like that, and domestic violence, we never want to put up if it's going to cause any problems. So I'm just going to be happy to announce that Yubi got adopted, Bruce got adopted, Whiskey got adopted, Lady, our little foxy that came back, got adopted, our old boy Monty got adopted, Maisie got adopted, and they're all our dogs. Cat-wise, we had Coco go to one of our volunteers, and we've got 2 cats, adoption pending. The 2 black kittens, are they still with us?
Yep, they're going in for dissexing to Wednesday and then going home on Thursday.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of adoptions pending this week. Actually, we're hoping to have some good news for next week. Rescue saves have been amazing. So Basil, who is now called Balloon, I don't know if I'm saying it correct. It's spelt Balun, and I believe it is, it means, I think, river. So that's our dingo pup, and he's gone to Dingo Rescue. Chuggles, our little Frenchie, has gone down to Monica's at Doggy Rescue. Now, Chuggles was a hard case. He was going to another rescue, but what we did notice with Chuckles, he vomited a lot and he had the worst breathing.
It's horrendous.
To the point that we had to, on hot days, we had to make sure that he was kept cool. We had to watch him all the time. We knew that he was going to need a very, very expensive operation. And so I reached out to Monica and I said, look, we've got a French Bulldog here. He's got really, really bad breathing. He absolutely needs this surgery. And she said, get him straight to our vet. So, very grateful that she could take him on, because he was just getting, I felt like he was getting worse with it,
Yeah, the more excited he was getting, the worse he was.
Yeah, and he was getting worked up in the kennels, and then we just thought, no, this dog needs emergency surgery. So anyway, he's gone down there. Some of the other amazing rescues that we've dealt with is 9 Lives Cat Rescue. So when I talked about pulling the other cats out of the other facility for them, 9 Lives partnered with us to do so, and that was great. They also took Chunk, which was a cat that I'd previously talked about, that was a community cat, ended up at a vet, had cat abscess and stuff like that. They also took Chunky Boy on for us as well. And also they partnered with me for Hope with the cryptococcus. So, they've been really amazing trying to help us, because the cat problem is a very big issue in the community for all facilities, because it's breeding time at the moment. So everybody's inundated with kittens, and of course then the adults fall behind any rescues as well, because everybody's trying to get the kittens in before they get too big, so that they've got potential to get them into homes. I have to say that these guys step up, whether or not it's kittens or cats, and they really sort of help us out as well. So we have had some amazing rescue saves, some amazing adoptions, and it really has ended the week on a high for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. And for all those people that did want to know if Chris was available, I have to say thank you. It's done very well for his ego, I'm sure.
It has.
Tahnee has said that on some days he is available, but 90% of the time he's not. Anyway, that's the week that was. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.